You have the ships coming in, and finally you have the drivers who are picking up shipping containers from the port. If you want to make a change, like maybe you operate the port 24 hours a day because you're trying to eliminate a backlog, nobody owns that entire system and can just dictate that that happens. There has to be consensus, and consensus with these groups of people is very difficult.
Congested ports and higher shipping costs have threatened to derail our nation's economic recovery.
After weeks of negotiation, the Port of Los Angeles announced today that it's going to begin operating 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
It does no good to keep a terminal open 24 hours a day in the hopes that truckers will come pick up a load at 3 a.m. Because if they do, they have to bring it somewhere. So not only do you have to get a trucker who's willing to come at 3 a.m., he or she has to bring it to a distribution center, and that distribution center has to be willing to accept the load in the dead of night.
We're going to try everything. We're increasing our gate hours, number of days that we work. We're going to be working overnight where required, but we're also asking others to step up too and trying to find new ways to move cargo out.
We can't be a one-man show when it comes to 24/7 operations. We're depending on the terminal operators to order the work and the rest of the supply chain to also open 24/7. When we get full on the docks, that means everyone else is not functioning properly either. And we really can't do anything about it until the other aspects of the supply chain start functioning properly.
When there's congestion in a port like this, it just reverberates, and the congestion gets worse and worse. The more that shipping times slip, the fewer ships there are to take empty containers back to Asia. So the entire system is like a traffic jam. You know, what starts as one person gawking at an accident pretty soon turns into standstill traffic for 2 hours for thousands of cars. Most goods, like our USB charger, when they leave the port, are taken a short distance by truck to the Inland Empire region, where they're processed in a warehouse before they're distributed to the rest of the country. After our USB charger is unloaded from a shipping container, the next leg of its journey is by long-haul truck.
And that's okay right there. Might get lucky and get loaded early. I'm probably going to be here about an hour. I hope it possibly could be 3. We'll just see how busy they are today and what's the what their schedule's like, how fast they are. I'm not rolling, so I'm not making money. So that's part of the problem is when you sit around and wait all this time, the wheels aren't turning, you're not making any money. I am a professional truck driver. All told, over 30 years, I've been driving a truck.
There are 19 pallets. Did you want me to floor load it or do you want me to double stack? You're not going to pick up another load, right?
No, how heavy is it? I'm an over-the-road driver. I'm gone typically 2 weeks at a time, roughly 3,500 to 4,000 miles a week, hauling all types of freight, everything from housewares to rice to water to beer to name it, you put it in that truck and I haul it.
The major strain on the long-haul trucking industry is that there aren't enough drivers willing to do the job in America. Now the American Trucking Association has projected that by 2028, America is going to be short 160,000 truckers. You're talking about an $800 billion a year industry. It moves 70% of the freight in the United States by value, according to the Department of Transportation. And without it, we'd have paralysis. You wouldn't get the things that you're accustomed to on store shelves, nor would you get them delivered to your door.
I began studying the industry 15 years ago. I was looking at the labor process and the work that truck drivers do and what had happened to it since deregulation of the industry in 1980. The current driver shortage has been talked about by the industry since at least 2005. The issue with the truck driver shortage is not one of a lack of people who have been interested in this job, have gone through the trouble of getting trained for this job. It's really a shortage of people willing to do that job long term. And that's fundamentally a retention problem, not a driver shortage.